Hey guys, good morning. It's Thursday and today we're gonna film several instructional videos and product videos. And our model for today? Nadine. So that's gonna be pretty awesome. Now, as you can hear, my voice is not as it normally is, so I have to do a lot of candy stuff and drink a lot because I'm recovering from the flu. Now, when you have a normal job, you would probably stay in bed. But with my job, you have to continue because also we have to bring the camera back today. So, yeah, let me show you the products we're going to film today. And it's going to be a busy day, so we're going to take you behind the closed doors, of course, so you can see whatever we do today. Okay, the first video we're going to do, or maybe not the first video, but one of the videos is about this new lens. And we got this from Camera Nu and they asked us to do a review for it. And it's a 15mm Irix lens and it looks pretty good. It's pretty lightweight, it's a manual focusable lens. The only problem is, of course, we have to use it on a Canon body because there isn't a Sony mount at the moment. There is a converter, which I have here. And we're of course gonna try it on the Sony. We did try it very quickly during our photo walk, and somehow we got a problem with the focusing. It didn't want to it did want to focus, of course, because it's manually focusable, but it didn't want to fire. So we don't know what's going on. We're gonna try that one again today. So that's one of the videos about the Irix, and let's see what else we're gonna do. Resistance is futile. Well, okay, they also were in a cube. But anyway, these are the Loom Cubes. And they got me by surprise. We got them from the Greven partners in the Netherlands. And at Photokina we actually met up with the creators. And they're pretty awesome. They're pretty small. They're incredibly powerful. And I use them for my street portraits or when I just need a little bit of extra light. And you can actually also sync them to your studio strobes. So we're going to do a small video on that too. And, well, probably also a photo shoot. So you're going to see those images in this episode or later online. And the final video we're going to shoot today is actually for the Case Air from Tethertools. The new wireless solution to shoot tethered without a wire. Isn't that your dream? Well, yes and no. I love wires because you know exactly what you're going to get. But sometimes, especially in location workshops, shooting wireless is just plain awesome. And now you also understand why we have that Canon 5DS over here. For the very simple reason, this only works on Nikon and Canon. And the Sony version will follow soon. Now this product will be released on November, I believe November 1st. And this is actually a prototype. It does look very much like the finished product. They told me only the case is different. So yeah, we already tested it. It works very, very well to your iPhone and iPad. We do have some problems getting it to work on the Mac, but they promised me a solution within a week. So that's way before the release date, but I can't get it in the video anymore. So during the video we will only focus on the iPad and iPhone app. So those are the products, and a week is setting up the cameras, because we're going to start with the introduction, of course, for the products. And then when Nadine comes in, we're going to do a small photo shoot and incorporate all those products into the different sets. One of the most important things, boys and girls, is of course maximize your time. Meaning, if you have a model here, don't just shoot one set. We have a whole how do you call it, call sheet or roster, in which we actually determine this product we're going to use in this photo shoot, and we're going to mix it with that. So probably we're going to film this all in, I hope, this morning, but knowing us, it will probably be a little bit longer. But you know what, you're going to see it all. So let's set up the cameras and let's do some real fast testing, and of course use the color checkers to get all the colors right, and then wait for Nadine. Oh, and I almost forgot. You see this? The Mitros with the Rogue, the Rogue flash bender and a grid. And as you can see, it's actually the Frank Doorhof flash bender. Now, before this, you couldn't buy the grid and the strip light attachments separate. And because a lot of people love my flash bender, thank you so very much, guys. There were a lot of questions. So when are we gonna get the opportunity to use it as a strip light? And of course Rogue listened, so starting soon you can now buy them separately. You can buy my flash bender and you can buy the attachment for the grid and the strip light. And trust me, that makes a killer combination. The soft silver, so a little bit more light output, and the strip light, great to use on location and of course in the studio. Okay, and the week starts always with white balancing on the target from X-Rite. So it's very easy to do. You just go to manual white balance in your camera and you make your balance. But of course Anouk has to do it again because the camera was actually in the frame. So I'm going to remove this now before she gets angry at me, and you don't want Anouk angry. After white balance, we of course have to set the exposure correct, because we don't want any cameras to be lighter or darker. And you can do that with your ZBrush. You can use 100% or 75%. And you have to make sure that white doesn't blow out and black doesn't block up. And that's actually why we use these Let Go panels in the studio, to make sure that the lighting is okay. So Anouk is now setting that up in the background. And this is also where we use the X-Rite color checker. Now the big ones we use in the studio. They also have a smaller one, the Video Passport, and that's the one we use on location. Okay, Anouk, we just finished recording Loom Cube, Case Air and the Irix lens. So how did everything go?
Very well.
Very well. So how long did it take? About an hour?
Yeah, something about it.
Okay, and we got a lot of 1-takers and a lot of 2-takers and some 4-takers, because again, I'm out with the flu, so sometimes my voice just gives up. So we still have the Loom Cubes here. So the next thing up, what are we going to do now, Anouk?
We're going to make the shots with the lens from Canon.
Okay, so we're going to do that in a tight location with Nadine. And we're going to use strobes from the back and from the front. You know what? We're just going to show you. Okay, we did some of the shots. We used a strip light in the front and actually a reflector with a red gel in the back. And these are the shots we did with the 15mm Irix lens. So I didn't film the setup because actually it went faster than we expected. Now this image was totally overexposed, and I don't know why, but somehow we tried to shoot it on live view and the first image was totally overexposed. But I love the pose, so we made it black and white, added a lot of contrast and noise, and well, you have instant art. And after that everything went okay, of course. So these are the images of this setup. So that concludes the part which we had to do with the Irix lens and the Canon camera. We're now setting up, actually, as you can see in the back, for the Loom Cube part. And that's going to be a challenge, because we have to film that without the LED panels on, because they will actually, of course, overpower the Loom Cubes. So we have to turn off all the lights in a moment and then film the part with the Loom Cubes. But we use the Sony 4K cameras and they're pretty good in low light, so I think it will be okay. Okay, let's see what Nadine is doing for our Loom Cube video. Looks awesome, Nadine. So this is gonna be fun. Dan zet ik er eentje echt achter je, zo. Oeh, dit is heel erg ouderwets, zeg. Echt gaaf. Neus iets meer naar het licht draaien. Overlicht. Heel mooi. Perfect. Looking at the wall and using the Loom Cube to give some accent lighting on Nadine. Probeer het dichtbij, hou je ogen gewoon dicht, hoor. Andere reden. Oké, ISO houdt dan natuurlijk nu uit. Gaat vast. Behind the closed doors, you guys are always the first to see the results. So this is actually with the Loom Cube, and we did some shots just with the Sony A7R, letting the model light herself, and using one on the background. And after that we started actually using the strobes, but this is still with constant lighting, so this is just the Loom Cubes. As you can see, you can create different looks, you can light the background, the model, and in the video you can see this better. This is where we started using the Loom Cube in combination with our studio strobes. So using the optical trigger, as you can see, it really gives you a cool effect. And the ones that I actually picked from this set are these two. Love this shot, really nice. And you can see the studio strobe goes off and it triggers the Loom Cube. So it's your own creativity that actually stands in the way of creating some really cool stuff. Okay, I'm returning the Canon 5DS camera nu with the lens, because we're done with it. But I still want to take some pictures, so I'm here actually at the local skate park to see if we can take some shots with the wide angle, which I can use in the review. Okay, just dropped off the camera at Camera Nu, so bye bye Canon. And of course I took also some pictures in Irix, which is actually beautiful to photograph. So you're gonna see those in the review and in the video, but not in today's episode, because as soon as I'm home I'm gonna take some rest to get rid of the flu.